Hello, everybody. Welcome to even more Donkey Kong Country. I'm joined here by Jackie and Working Player. Yeah, you guys can say hi.
Okay, hi, I'm Jackie, and I'm there to help to commentate the DKC1. Are we only two?
No, Working Player is here.
Okay, okay.
It's fine. Yeah,
So-
we're starting already, so there's a countdown. We're gonna be playing all 3 games in a row. Blueberry is gonna be racing DNA 423, and they're both really good runners. We have
really-
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was about to say same as you, like really good runners. Oh, they started like nice.
Nice.
Okay.
So interesting. DNA started with the plane trick, but Blue decided not to go for it, I guess.
Yeah, maybe it's because like it's only possible of 1.0. Maybe Blueberry doesn't have like the 1.0 card. I don't know, but it's not so much of a difference. It's like a 1 second difference. But
Yeah, it's fine.
okay, so first thing is that we get rid of DK because DK is really slow and is really hard to move around. So we just take DD, he's faster, and we just go and roll through as much enemies as possible, because when you roll through enemies, you increase your speed. So we try to do that as much as possible. And I didn't watch Blue first level, but he's already like maybe 5 seconds behind. I don't really know what happened, but that's not a huge deal so far.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I think he broke the first barrel by throwing. Like he's on safe strats, I guess.
Oh, okay.
And the title of the Trilogy run is 80%, but we actually play all stages on DKC1 because it's like the main category of the game.
Oh yeah, and also because like 80% you can finish the game in like 8 minutes, so it's not, yeah, it's pretty fast, so it's more interesting to play all stages. But yeah, in all stages you will see we have a lot of frame perfect trick that can save a lot of time. So hopefully that will not make such a huge difference at the end of the first game, because if one runner hit all the frame perfect tricks and the other doesn't, like that can make a huge difference at the end. So hopefully we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you can make or break a run, to be honest. A race can be pretty interesting.
Yeah, exactly. This is why I love like DKC1 races. It's really interesting, but in Trilogy, like that's if you have like a 1 minute difference at the end, it's pretty difficult to come back. But it's never over.
Yeah, for sure. One thing about Trilogy is that you don't have to play the 3 games in the correct order. But people usually do because it's more fun. Like, it feels correct.
Yeah, it feels correct. Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
and also like for the races, obviously it's easier to follow that way. So.
And we also have Bleak at the end of the run, so it's another
that's true,
tiebreaker.
that can make a difference as well. That's true.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's the final level of World 1. DNA is still like 5 seconds ahead, I would say. There is a pretty tough extendo coming. I don't know if they are going for it. Oh, he's taking the safe barrel just in case. Ooh, shit! DNA like killed the enemy. So ooh, and Blu-ray is taking damage. Everything is.
Oh my god.
It's falling apart right there. So Nomad just skips a movement right there, and I'm not sure they know how to do this perfectly, but they're gonna have to. Yeah, DNA doesn't really know. Okay, he's alive. Nice. Let's see Blue. Come on, Blue. Yeah, okay.
They're kind of improvising.
Yeah, exactly. This is like a let's play right there. Yeah, okay, nice. They're not dead. That's a pretty bad mistake to do, because you can't reach the barrel on the seating, so you have to finish the level normally. And when you don't know what to do, that can be like pretty bad. But they are not dead, so good thing. And I'm like again, DNA is probably like now 10 seconds ahead, I would say.
Something like that. I'm surprised none of them actually died to try again. and they both went for the route.
Yeah, that's very easy to die. Like if you just panic and you just don't know what to do and you just do a huge mistake, but that's good, they are not dead.
Yeah. And now Winky's walkway is just like super short level, unfortunately.
Yeah, like, and we not gonna see Winky, but yeah, that's
no.
No, Winky. We take the warp in Minecraft Carnage to skip the whole level, and that's a good thing because this level is horrible. We finished the level nice and clean for DNA. That will be the same for Blueberry, no problem. And we enter in Boonsey, which is like the hardest level of the early game, one of the hardest level in the game to do optimally. You can lose a lot of time like not playing correctly in this level. We'll see what they do right there.
Yeah, there are a couple tricks. Like DNA is going for the B skips here.
Nice one for DNA.
Yeah, really well done.
Let's see Blue. Okay.
Also going for B skips.
Yeah, nice one as well. That's.
Oh no! Yeah. Blue actually fell. That's unfortunate.
Damn. Blue is taking a death. That's pretty unfortunate. You don't take the safe barrel in this level because it's not in the way. So yeah, if you die like that at the end of the stage, you have to redo the whole stage, and this is like a huge time loss. That's pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, you have to bring like a tire in between a gap and then like jump to grab the halfway, and it's not very handy.
Yeah, it's definitely not. So DNA is doing the first big trick in the game. You take damage with DK, you bonk on the wall, and that gives him a special state. And if you bounce on an enemy like that, you get a super jump. That was a pretty fast explanation. We're gonna see it again on Blueberry's screen after. But that allows you to reach a barrel that is out of reach. Normally you have to take a tire and to jump into it, so that's faster. We're gonna see it again in Blueberry's screen just after.
Yeah, the stop and go level, we just like go backwards and like skip most of the level.
Yeah, this is like the stupidest warp ever, but
yeah,
that's pretty fun as well. So yes, Blueberry is going to do the super jump as well. So you take DK, take damage. He's gonna bonk on. Oh no, he missed it.
He's dying. Okay.
Oh, he's
gonna
die.
He's gonna go for a tire over gap. Apparently not.
Yeah, I thought he was going to do this. This is probably the best backup possible, but
yeah,
I don't know what he's going to do now. He's going to do the tire. So you can see the normal way. Pretty nice. I hope he's not feigning it. Okay, nice. It's pretty easy to make the tire fall onto the pit. So that's the normal way you do it. You just take the tire and you just reach with DK.
Meanwhile, he's just cruising through World 3.
Yeah, he is like definitely going. So he's going for the SFR, I guess so. Yeah. So we're gonna try to do the same to get the super jump state with DD. He got it. So it's DD went through the sky, and we're gonna try to land back. Oh, he gets it. Nice. Oh, yeah. No, okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, really nice from DNA. That's like huge from him. Blueberry is already late, and he really need to get the trick as well to not lose even more time. So what DNA did was he got a super jump state, the same thing. So he took damage on the vertical wall. So DD just jump onto the sky, so that gave him a special state. And when you bounce on an enemy after, you get a super jump, and you are able to land on the rope, and you still have the state. So if you are able to land back on the ground and to initiate a roll, you are rolling, but you still have the super jump state. So you are just like flying into the air, and you have this rolling speed as well. So you are going really fast, and you fly over the stage. And hopefully, Blueberry will be able to get the trick as well. We'll see just now.
Hopefully we'll be able to see a lot more of these.
He's not going for it. Okay, he's not going for it. So I guess he's going just for the super jump. I don't think he's going for the SGR. There is no way. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, no, he's going for the super jump. Okay, that's a safe strat. Like it's the same, but you don't have the roll speed. So you can see that he's also flying over the stage, but he doesn't have the same speed as DNA. And this is like about like I would say 17 seconds slower. So he's gonna lose even more time. But at least he doesn't die. So
yeah. And now DNA is going for the map warp.
Oh yeah.
This is like a very weird trick. We try to enter a stage that doesn't exist, like in the middle of the two stages, and the game gets really confused and just wrong warps you to the end of the stage.
And the game is really not nice with DNA at the moment. Oh, okay,
yeah.
Finally.
Yeah, it's a frame perfect trick. It's hard to hit.
Yeah, it's pretty hard. You can hit like any face button, like A, B, X, Y, but like because it's frame perfect, it's still pretty hard to get. So it's you can always get trolled by the game. So is Blueberry? I think he's going for. No, okay. No, he's only DD because sometimes he's going for DSFR. I think in Tempest, but he's only DD, so he can't do it. Okay.
Yeah, and we have Donkey on Anger.
Ooh, Donkey on Anger. That's really nice. That's for the fans. Like DNA is giving DK. That's pretty.
Hell
nice. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. You actually like DK is slower everywhere, but you have the same speed on the fish with DK, so it's you're actually not losing time. But I didn't really see why he's with DK right there. Did he take damage or something?
He took damage at the end of Tempest, if I'm not mistaken.
Ah, okay.
And then he just carried on with Donkey like forever.
Yeah, some Donkey gameplay, really nice. Really nice.
Giving Blue some advantage.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes map warp for Blueberry. Hopefully he gets first try to... Oh, nice first try, nice and clean. So
that's good.
That's like going to save a little bit of time compared to DNA.
At least DNA gets to do this boss with Donkey, which is much easier.
Yeah, it's much easier, and like at least, and if you take damage, you are with DD after. So yeah, this boss is actually like it's not so easy to optimize. Like it can troll you pretty badly, but like with DK, you can reach him every time. So okay, let's see 11. Pretty nice for DNA. Pretty nice time for DNA for a race.
And
we are entering Word 4. Which is my nemesis, but
I like Word 4.
Yeah, I mean, like the levels are beautiful, like the snow and everything. Oh, no jaw roll in the snow. Shame DNA.
I get why they are not going for many of the tricks, but
yeah, that's just me being stupid. Like they are actually being clever and not doing stupid strats.
I mean, it's fun to showcase all the strats.
Yeah, that's true. And so yeah, they are about like one level apart. Like DNA is going to finish 4-1, and Blue is going to finish the boss. So you could think that this is a pretty big difference so far, but as we said, you have a lot of frame perfect tricks in this game still to go. And if DNA miss one trick and Blueberry is it like you can totally come back. So this is definitely not like finished.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're entering slip slide with DNA. We are reaching this rope and we are trying to go over the ceiling right there. Really perfect. You just press down and you can go over the ceiling and reach the warp barrel that is normally you can only go into this barrel with DK because of his hitbox being bigger. But that way we can reach it with DD and we are much faster, and nice climbing and then finish the level really clean.
Yeah, that was a clean climb.
And now we are going to enter Ice Age Alien. When you're going to take our body Espresso is way faster than doing the stage normally, and you can fly everywhere. So this is really important to not take damage right there, because you're gonna lose Espresso and you have a high chance of just falling into the pit because it's everywhere. So you really have to pay attention right there.
Yeah, this game has some weird mechanics. When you take damage from an animal body, you get launched and you can't like you don't have any control until you land on solid ground.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Like
really weird.
it's really weird, and like in this stage, you with this special thing, you're just gonna die. Yeah, yeah. There
Yeah,
is like a
definitely.
90% chance of dying that way. So this is really important to not take damage. Let's see how it goes for blue. Okay, perfect as well.
Nice.
Really nice. That's actually not so easy sometimes. Like they control you pretty badly. So that's nice. He gets it first try. And now we are with DNA in Croctopus Chase, like the infamous Croctopus Chase, like the worst level in the game by far. This
Worst
is
level with best music.
yeah, exactly. Like this is really hard to optimize. You can't like save times right there. You can only lose time. And you don't have like En Garde the Fish, so you have to optimize every corner. You have to mash the button to go up. So this is really easy to lose time, and a really long level. So yeah, it's a really tough level to optimize. You can lose a lot of seconds not playing it optimally. So
For sure.
but as you say, like this is it has a great music. So at least
Yeah, for sure.
Blue is going to finish Ice Age Alley, I think, clean. Nice. Let's go. And they are both in the same stage.
Yeah, I think every Donkey game has like this stage that even if someone is very far behind, they will be both in the same stage at one point because it's so long.
Yeah, it's actually like I think it's more than 2 minutes. I don't remember. It's about 2 minutes long. It's really long.
Yeah, the KC1 has Croctopus Chase. The KC2 has Castle Crush, which is skippable, so it's not going to be a big deal. And the KC3 has I forgot the actual name of the stage, but the Burning Rope stage.
Yeah, I can't help you there. I really can't help you there. Oh, DNA forgetting the path.
I mean, I don't blame you.
I hear some pianos right there. Like Lovebird wouldn't be happy about that, but he's just a god at this level, so we don't really care. And now we are entering Torchlight Trouble. So normally you are supposed to take the bird right there. I don't even Squawks right there. I think it's his name.
Yeah, Squawks.
To actually see something, but he's making the game lag really badly. So we are just not taking him and just doing the level in the dark because we know the level perfectly, and DNA is playing it really nice right there. Okay, cool. And I don't think they are gonna go for RBR, right? I don't know. We'll see what happens right there.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, no, he's not going for it. Playing some nice no magic glitch gameplay.
Nice. Yeah, this is one of my favorite levels to play without the wrong warp. No, sorry, not wrong warp. Without the SJR. It's a really clean platforming.
Yeah, it's actually really fun to do some tire rolls right there. Like it's the tires they are doing on the edge of the tires. The rolls they're doing on the edge of the tire, excuse me. This is actually not so easy to do, but it's pretty cool to do. And well, okay, nice from the DNA is playing pretty great at the moment. We'll see what Blue is doing, but I don't think he's gonna go for the SGR as well.
He might go for it just to catch up.
He died in Torchlight. That's
oh, yeah, that's really unfortunate.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Another death for Blue. In Torchlight, you have to land on the edge of this fuel can, this oil can. This is actually pretty hard to do because you can take damage pretty easily. This is really precise, and if you don't land correctly, you can just fall into the pit as he did. So that's pretty unfortunate.
Yeah.
Unlucky. And right there we are in Odrum Alley, and DNA is going to go for the SGR. So he's taking damage with DD. He's getting the super jump state, taking damage, and boom! Oh, he got it, dude.
Nice.
Really nice, really nice. So as you can see, like this is a combination of the super jump as we already see, really so. And another trick that is actually frame perfect, which is called a jump roll, is you initiate a roll at the same frame you land on an enemy, and you get this rolling state combined with the super jump, and you just fly over the stage with huge speed. And that's pretty a bummer because that's going to increase the time difference between Blue and DNA even more. So hopefully Blue is gonna get the trick as well.
I hope so. Now for elevator antics. I don't like this stage at all.
It's a pretty tough stage, honestly. Like if you try to do all the optimal strat and stuff, that's actually pretty hard. Oh, Blue is doing the. Blue tried to do the fast. You can do a. There is a strat to skip one cycle of the boss, and you have to take damage with DK, but he did it wrong, I think, so he didn't get it, and now he's only DD, so he's not gonna be able to go for the SGR, so he's not gonna do it.
Unfortunate.
So he's going to lose even more time compared to DNA. The SGR saves about 20 seconds, so he's going to lose about 20 seconds if he doesn't die, because this stage is pretty hard. It's pretty hard to do.
Yeah, it's a difficult stage. All 4 to 5 is very difficult, actually.
Yeah. Like from this point, like I would say from Torchlight Trouble, the game really started to be really difficult if you in No Magic Glitch. So you have some. The good thing about super jump rolls, it's a frame perfect trick, so it's hard to get. But if you get it, you don't have to play the stage. So it's in races that's actually pretty huge, because you save time, and ODA, for example, like right now for Blue is pretty hard. Hopefully he gets the ending perfectly. Okay, nice, really nice.
Well done.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, speaking of difficult levels, but DNA is on Poison Pond,
which is triple means of clip. Nice, really nice from DNA.
That's much more difficult than it looks.
Yeah, it's actually really hard. You have to be really precise with your inputs. And DNA is rolling in, man.
Nice of them. I see if Blue goes for the. No, he's not gonna go for the jump roll.
I don't think so, but maybe, like, you never know.
I think it's risky because you can soft lock at this stage.
It's pretty risky. Is DNA gonna go for? Oh, he went for it, and he was too late right there. So he was trying to get a jump roll, like that's the frame perfect trick we were talking about before. We didn't talk about like how you. So if you enter the cart without jumping or rolling with DK and you take damage, the game will think you are still on the ground. So when you take damage with DK, the game still thinks you are on the ground, and because you have auto jump, you can actually roll, and we can roll through the air just like that with DD. So right now the game still thinks we are on the ground, so we can still roll. And when a platform will appear on the screen, the game will actually know where the ground is, and you will not be able to roll in the air again. And that will be in about like 2 seconds, something. Just right there. Boom. There is a platform. Oh
no! We missed the tire roll.
I don't know if that's like a jinx from me, but I'm sorry, DNA. But yeah, so he has to enter back in the minecart at this exact spot, but he died doing the tire roll. Meanwhile, Blue took damage with the fish, and he's
that's bad.
Without the fish in poison bag, which is actually really dangerous. He's gonna play really safe right there. There is another fish on the right, but it's pretty tough to take. It's pretty dangerous to go for it, so I'm not sure he's going to go for it. Oh, he's going for it actually. So you have to avoid a shark. Yeah, right there. So he took damage. That's pretty. Yeah, that was nicely done actually. I would have.
Yeah, it's smart idea.
I would have done that. I would have gone with DD, and I would have taken damage. Oh shit, he took damage again. That's pretty unfortunate. Yeah, pretty tough for Blueberry at the moment. Like, this stage is really no joke without the fish. Like, this is really difficult, actually.
Especially at the end. I think he can just like glue to the ceiling here in the end.
Yeah, right there you can glue to the ceiling. That's alright. He's gonna end up safely. And meanwhile, DNA is in Blackout Basement, a pretty tough stage because it's like going light and dark, but when it's dark you really see nothing, so you have to know your level perfectly. He's not dead, pretty nice.
Yeah, I don't think we explained tire rolls actually, which is an important thing from now on. Whenever you land on a tire, if you're like on the edge of the tire, you can roll in a very precise window. But if you land in the middle of the tire, you have to wait or like release Y until you're at the edge to be able to roll. So it's a tricky roll. If you fail, you just die like DNA did a while ago.
Yeah, if you try to initiate your roll in the middle of the tire, you will just not roll and die, because it's really it's not hard, but this is really something you have to get used to. So DNA finishing with a 25-26. 25-26. Okay, we'll see. The time of Blue is pretty far behind, but you have a. Oh, he's taking a death again. Ooh, that's pretty tough. Did he take the safe barrel? Yeah, okay, he took it. Okay.
Oh. So bad.
So now DNA being in takes up trouble. Like this level is pretty legendary in this game for having like frame perfect trick, like jump rolls that saves a huge amount of time, because this is kind of an auto scroller, and this jump roll, this frame perfect trick, allows you to just skip the auto scroller. So that there are two. There are Kremtut, which is like the most difficult trick in the game, and I don't think DNA will go for it. Oh, he's gonna go for safe Kremtut right there, actually. Let's see if he gets it. No, he didn't get it. And now we have Bertut, and hopefully... Ooh, French setup, but... Oh, he gets it really nice from DNA. That's actually really nice, but that's going to make increase the difference again between him and Blue. So you can see that now we are really fast and saving a lot of time. So he waits a little bit right there, because when you are in this special state, the jump roll state, you actually lose a little bit of height every frame, so that allows you right there to pass under those bees, because if we didn't wait, we would take damage to the bees. So this trick saves around like 40 seconds. That's actually really huge. And DNA is gonna get actually a really good time. We are taking out buddy Ramby right now. Ramby is actually pretty hard to control in this game. He has kind of an input delay program into the game, so you really have to take that into consideration when playing. And right there, we're gonna use him to just goodbye Ramby. Oh, the nice color swap right there, a classic one. I love this one. So yeah, we use Ramby and we just sacrifice him to jump over this gap to save time. The Yoshi treatment, and we're finishing the stage. Like DNA is playing really great at the moment. It is pretty far away. That's So now we're gonna do another SFR. So we taking the super jump state. We're landing back on the rope, landing back on the ground, and initiate a roll, and roll through enemies to gain even more speed. And now we are just flying over the stage. This trick is actually pretty easy to do because the setup is not hard to get. So, and this is really fast. Let's see what Blue does in Techno Trouble. Hopefully he can get Bertut as well, so that he will not like lose even more time compared to DNA, because like if he doesn't get it, that's like a 40-second time loss again. I don't think he's gonna go for Kremtut. Nope, not going for it. Hopefully, come on Blue, let's get this trick, man. Oh, too early. Well, that's pretty unfortunate. You have a backup in this stage, actually, that was discovered not so long ago. It's called Beef Tut. It's just after, but I'm not sure he learned it. Like, not a lot of people learned this trick. It still saves about, like, I would say 20 seconds, but... Yeah, he's not going for it. Okay, so he's gonna lose, like, 40 seconds. And DNA is... at the moment in Loopy Light, pretty tough level and he's doing it perfectly. Like, yeah, the DNA is playing really well at the moment. So now we're gonna oh, he's actually saving, like, that's actually pretty clever. Why? Because he's gonna do the perils won't warp, so we're gonna set up a split up glitch. Just like that, we throw the barrel, we start and select to go out of the level. So now the game thinks we control 2 Kongs, and so we take damage with DD right there to... That's part of the trick. That's pretty hard to explain. This trick is actually pretty hard to explain, but because we have a split up glitch and basically the game thinks we control 2 Kongs, and he think we're gonna release DK right there just before entering this warp, and DD enter in the warp, but as we release DK, the game thinks we actually control DK right now, but because DK is not entering in the warp, the game doesn't really understand and thinks like you exit the level, but you're not dead. So the game just thinks, okay, you exited the level, you're not dead, so you just finished the level. So that's a really simple explanation, but that a really basic explanation, but basically we finished the level and really fast. And
Sorry,
DNA is actually
gonna...
in the problem. I think DNA is gonna get like a 33. That's actually really good. And unfortunately blue is going to be pretty far behind. And that's what I said before starting. Like, you have a frame perfect trick in this game, and Blueberry just basically got everything you don't want to get. Like, he died multiple times and he didn't get the frame perfect tricks. Whereas DNA actually got the tricks and didn't die. So that's going to make a huge difference. What?
Did he get that?
No, he didn't.
Oh, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's why. Like, that's like the opposite would have been better actually. Like, Blueberry getting burted and DNA not getting it, but that was not the case. That's the problem with DKC1 races. Sometimes, like, that makes a huge difference, and but everything can happen, you know. Like, DKC2, DKC3 still to go. I think. Well, I mean, DNA is grinding DKC2 at the moment. He's really strong at the game. I think, like, Blue is actually really good at DKC2 as well.
It definitely is, yeah. There's a lot of game ahead, so...
Yeah, there is a lot, like, definitely. Everything can happen, like, you never know. Like a choke from DNA side, so everything can happen. But yeah, that's actually a really good time live for a live run for DNA. That's actually pretty impressive.
Yeah, for a trilogy, it's amazing.
Actually, yeah, like getting a 33 in a trilogy, like, is definitely something. Maybe a live PB, we never know. Some nice imitation of the boss, always nice. And that's gonna be it for DNA with a 3340, I would say.
Yeah, 3339, something like that. Really nice run for DNA.
Yeah, really impressive, and he's like resetting right away and starting with DKC2, whereas Blue is initiating, like, he's setting the split up glitch to do the one warp in perils. Ooh, he missed it, I think. Yeah, he missed it. He released DK, so you have to get rid of DK and start back. Getting rid of DK. Yeah. Okay, this time this is alright. And taking damage as well. Yeah, and he's going to end up. So why DNA saved? I think blue saved as well. Because if you right now we are a split up glitch. If we take damage with DD, we actually soft lock. So you can't do anything about it. So it's pretty easy to soft lock right there with this enemy. So you really don't want that to happen. So
for sure.
He missed it. I think he missed it. Yeah, he missed it. Yeah, like this is really not going well for blue at the moment. Like I don't know if he's going to do the stage normally. I guess he's gonna do it normally. Yeah. Oh, yeah, but it's yeah. As you can, something weird that he was controlling both Kongs, so
it's hard to play like that.
yeah, because as I said, like he was controlling both Kongs, so you are actually the game thinks you control DK. I mean, he's on DK, but you are actually still on DD with the camera. Like, something is strange. So you are focused on DD, but like DK just died, and you can't play with both Kong. This is impossible. So he's starting back, and he's losing a lot of time again.
Yeah. Meanwhile, DNA is going really fast on DKC2 already. DKC2 has similar gameplay. We're going to be rolling a lot. The difference is that instead of jump rolls... Oh, did he miss again?
Yeah, I think like this is like much of a nightmare right now. It's just in an infinite loop. Like this is a joke.
No.
Yeah, pretty. That's unfortunate, but hopefully he will be able to make it. Yeah, okay. He has the thing, so that should work now. Hopefully he doesn't miss. Yeah, sorry, I'm talking with blue and we kind of miss
fine.
like what's happening on DNA screen, but we're gonna be able to see it back on blue after. So
the beginning of the DKC2 run is not very interesting anyway.
Yeah, a lot of one warps at the beginning. Let's see. Okay, he gets it that time. Okay,
nice. Let's go.
Let's
go.
So
blue is set for the rest of the run, I think. That's really nice.
Yeah, it's gonna finish with like around 37, so that's going to be like around a flat 39, something like that. So it's going to be, I would say, about like 6 minutes behind. So that's big, but you never know.
Yeah, it's still manageable.
Yeah, definitely.
Both the KC2 and the KC3 have really hard late games, so anything can happen. And I was gonna say that instead of super jump rolls and frame perfect tricks, the KC2 has a lot of wrong warps. In this game, you can team throw like you just saw, and that's a feature that the KC1 doesn't have. And you can grab objects and clash them into other objects or enemies, and create invisible objects. Whenever you throw an invisible object, the game gets really confused, and you kind of glitch the values of the memory of like a barrel or something, and then you can use that to wrong warp, because the barrel usually would soft lock you, and the devs kind of put a code there to, hey, if this happens, just throw the guy out of the stage, and you beat the stage by glitching the game, basically.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
When you yeah, as I said to you before, I started like speedrunning the beginning of this game like not so long ago, and that's actually really nice to do. Like when you do your first one warp, it's actually the feeling is pretty great.
It feels good, yeah, for sure. It's just because if you try to wrong warp on the 1.0, like the first version, you just get stuck on the barrel forever. You never leave the stage. So I think they put that as a failsafe on the 1.1 version.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah. And DNA is on the second boss now, while Blue is on the fake credits. The second boss, Cleaver, is very interesting. He's going for the lava fly, which is a difficult trick, and he gets it. Nice, very nice.
Yeah, really nice.
That saves about 5 seconds, I think. Not too sure. But if you miss, you just die. Fall in the lava. It's kind of punishing.
That's one of the big differences between DKC1 and 2. Like in DKC1, the bosses are really easy, really basic, and that's one of the things they did way better in DKC2. And actually, in speedrunning, that's way easier to play the bosses in DKC1. They are. I've never you actually have to train a lot on DKC2 bosses actually.
Yeah, to fully optimize the bosses, it's actually very difficult. We're going to be fighting another bee later. Like there's I think the queen bee on the DKC1 and the king bee on DKC2. And the king is much harder to
kill. It's much. I never played it. If I want to speedrun the game, I will have to. But like just by looking on the screen, that looks way much more difficult.
Yeah, it's a bit more precise.
Like Rebby.
I didn't see like blue ending time, but I think that was like a mid 39, something like that. Low 39. So yeah, he's about like 6 minutes behind, I would say.
We still have a race, boys. And DNA is now on 3-1, and there are no more developer-intended barrels, like warps. So he's gonna have to play the whole stage now, unless there's a wrong warp, which there will be a couple.
Ooh.
Oh no! Wait, Blue's in the wrong version?
Yeah. What happened? Like, does he have like 2 cards of the game, and what happened?
That's exactly what happens if you try to wrong warp on the 1.0 version. Like that's literally what I talked about. You get stuck and kept shoot out of the barrel.
Yeah, but what? He plays on console, right?
Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe he booted the wrong game.
I don't know.
Sure.
Maybe he has 2 versions. I don't know, and he put the wrong one in the console. I'm not sure, man.
I was thinking that he was. I was thinking he was playing version, the ROM 1.0 version from his SNES menu.
Oh yeah,
that's
right.
I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, everybody's playing on SNES but me. That's why.
Don't worry, I also have
that's
one.
right. You probably like load the wrong version. Yeah, okay, that makes more sense actually. And we'll see if it's all right now.
See?
Yeah, okay.
There we go, nice.
That's pretty unfortunate as well. Like, that's too bad. Well, at least we saw like what happens when you have one.
Yeah, thanks Blue for demonstrating.
Yeah, don't try that on 1.0. That will not work.
Oh, that's great.
It's like a certain Donkey Runner.
Yeah.
It's like a certain Donkey Runner once said, version 1.0 is garbage.
Yeah, usually the 1.0 is awful. Has a lot of extra unuseful glitches. And now DNA is going for the crackhead wrong warp. Let's see. And he got it. Very nice.
Nice.
We don't really know how that works. For some reason, whenever the sword guy removes his swords from the ground, he can like corrupt objects around him. So it's kind of black magic, but it works.
And spoiler, that sword guy is gonna do something similar later in the run if things go right.
Yep. Now on Rattle Battle. This stage has some really nice music. Unfortunately, yeah. Unfortunately, it's like a vertical animal body on a horizontal stage, so it's not very fun to play. It's not very it doesn't make sense.
At least it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't reached this part yet in the practice, but from what I heard and saw on Discord, like this snake is pretty famous for having strange hits. Like you can get it pretty easily. It seems pretty hard to play, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. There's a game we play on the Discord. It's called Snake or Guy, and we take a picture of the snake close to an enemy, and you have to guess who gets hit first.
Yeah.
Pretty funny. And DNA also did a super jump now, which is also present in this game. It's a little bit different to do them from the KC1, but they work kind of the same way. Now he has an invisible object he's going to use to wrong warp. Very nice. Oh, that wrong warp is tricky.
Ooh, blue got the 2-1 jump. Nice.
Nice. And now for Brimble Blast. This is like the childhood stage. Everyone remembers this stage from their childhood.
Oh really? I thought this was the clip stage.
That too.
Oh, this music is insane.
Yeah, it's really good.
Watch out.
The stage is pretty difficult. You can shoot the barrels in the same direction they're facing, but you have 3 frames to do so. And they're called quick shots. They're very difficult. Also, there's another glitch here. Let's see. Oh no, he took damage! Okay, that's the worst case scenario. That's called vine clip. He was trying to clip that vine with a glitch. But since he took damage, he's gonna have to go through the maze of shame, which is what we call this. It's just a series of barrels you can skip every time.
You lose so much time, and that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's for blue right there. That's to make up some time.
For sure. I hope he gets right clip.
Well, at least DNA is still a little ahead. Can still win DKC too. Also, this boss's hitboxes are big.
Yeah, he's like a giant square. It's really weird. This boss isn't very interesting. We just wait on a specific spot and like release the barrel on his back. Not much to it. Very boring boss. They're one word apart, pretty much. But blue can still make up a lot of time if he hits a couple tricks that DNA didn't get.
Blueberry is really good at DKC too, so I got my hopes up.
Yeah, exactly. You never know what can happen. Like DNA is really good as well, but like if he does some mistakes, as he just did, and blue like does a perfect run, like he can definitely like come back.
For sure.
I agree. Finally! That boss finally left.
And now we're moving toward 4.
Most of the most fun worlds. Yay!
I think that's the case for all 3 games, but the first 3 worlds are not necessarily easy, but they are like the introduction to the game, and then from World 4 onwards, the game just gets much harder. Maybe not the case for DKC3, because World 4 and DKC3 is pretty easy, but for the other 2 games, that's kind of the case. There's a new mechanic introduced here, which is honey climbing. Honey climbing is like probably the hardest mechanic in the game. You can lose a lot of time by getting stuck on the honey.
Yeah, but fortunately, DNA and Blue have a way to go through the honey pretty quick in one segment at least. It's called the Scrolly Scroll, according to a few runners. I don't know the official name, but I like the Scrolly Scroll name at least. I don't know how it works exactly, but apparently you have to drop Squitter at a specific frame and then do a team up also at a specific frame. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't think that there are any frames required. It's just if you mount Squitter on top of a hook, the game gets really confused and just like unlocks the screen. And we team up so we can run through the honey. Because when you team up, for some reason the honey doesn't work on the ground. So that's the reason.
I guess instead of you getting hooked on the game gets hooked on you for a moment.
Haha.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, that's pretty much the explanation. And now we have a boring auto-scroller. DKC1 has its fair share of auto-scrollers. DKC2 auto-scrollers are not as bad, because the worst one we can skip with a wrong warp, but we're gonna be seeing that later, like Working Player said.
It's also got some pretty vibrant music. Still love listening to it time to time.
Yeah, I like
Always all three games. That's such great music when you're driving.
The most we can optimize in this stage is just skip a couple flitters, then we don't have to bounce on them, but... Oh no, Danny is going for the swag balloon. I can't believe it. Never go for swag balloon, guys. We're always gonna get...
I always do.
So swag balloon is that balloon Danny got on top of the X barrel. You can get it without hitting the X barrel, but if you do hit the barrel, you get punished. And now for Bramble Scramble. This is one of the most difficult wrong warps in the game, but it saves so much time. As you guys can see, you need the invincibility barrel. Very nice, very nice. You need to grab the beetle, clash on the vine, and then leave the stage. Really well done by DNA.
It just dawned on me that the beetles are used quite often for wrong warps in this speedrun.
Yeah, it's interesting how conveniently placed they are. There's always like a couple beetles that we can clash and something we can warp out with. Pretty convenient. And now another auto-scroller. This one is more fast-paced. It's also more punishing if you die, because there's no midway barrel. But they have played this game a trillion times at this point, so they know how to navigate through the stage.
Yeah, for those people who have played the GBA version of DKC2, that one has a mid-save barrel in the level. However, it doesn't make the level easier. In fact, if you're too much behind, you're gonna have to redo the whole level anyway if you want to get the DK token. That's not really necessary for any percent, but if you're trying to do something like 1 or 2% for GBA, well, that's something to take note of.
Yeah, that's true.
Model Marsh. Another level where the cannonball is gonna be pretty neat.
Oh, and you're taking a death already. Yeah, Mudhole is one of the most difficult stages in the run. The Trilogy, actually, I would say. So Danny is gonna have to be doing a couple of the very difficult rolls, going under that Eagle Pit, which is also not easy. Decides to take the midway barrel, which is a smart decision. And now we have another conveniently placed set of beetles and a candle
nice
that we can warp out. We can create a invisible object, punch the beetle, and get out of the stage. Well, nicely done. Now for Ramby Rumble. This stage is a tricky one. Okay, DNA goes for the team throw super jump. For some reason, if you throw your Kong with the team throw and you take damage, your Kong gets a super a super jump state, and you can reach that hook. There's another method of reaching it, but it's kind of harder. And now we play as Rambi for the rest of the stage. It's not difficult, but it's very hard to optimize. You can cut corners very tightly to save some time. And DNA is going for the death jump. Interesting.
Yeah, stuff like the death jump really makes it look a lot more swag.
Yeah, it saves very little time, surprisingly. It saves like 0.2 or something. And it's very scary. But nicely done by DNA. And now we're entering the King. This boss fight is very tricky. We have a specific cycle for everything, like we know where to position ourselves. But if you miss any hits, which is very easy because the hitbox is not very big, you have to improvise because the cycle is not going to be the same. But Danny is doing a really nice job. Hitting him as soon as he leaves the invincibility stage.
Yeah, quick side note, Blueberry just finished World 3, so it's a little distance, but it can still be recovered by the end of the race.
Oh, sorry about that. My cat just jumped around. And yeah, there is a very quick, ultra precise quick defeat method. There is something called a choose cycle, that when the king is transitioning from one cycle to another, there's one frame that he gets vulnerable before the bees around him appear, and you can hit an egg in him, like on him, at the exact frame he's vulnerable. But since it's one frame, it's very precise. People never go for it, really. It's very, very difficult. And now we have World 5. This first stage is very fun. We have ghost ropes. Usually they disappear after a while, but since we're going so fast, it's not really a problem. DNA going under the guy there, safe strats. Nice. Very well done. I mean, not really safe strat, but safer than the faster option. Yeah, I think someone got the 2 cycle on a marathon once. But like, not even people grinding for PBs go for that, because it's very difficult to hit.
Guys, this level is too scary. I'm gonna leave the rest of the commentary in this level to YouTube.
Oh no, man. I love this kind of pasta. Yeah, Haunted Hall, we don't have to grab all the plus barrels, and we can grab a couple of minus as well. This level is very weird. We have like a precise jumping... How can I explain that? Jumping routes. If you jump on certain parts of the stage, you go much faster. So you don't want to jump on certain spots. It doesn't really make sense. It's like you have to watch someone play it and try to copy as much as like as close as possible. But you can save a few seconds in this stage by jumping on the correct spots. Nice B dodges there. You can see DNA is jumping all over the place. And Blue is kinda coming somewhat close. He's on the Bramble Scramble Run warp now. Let's see if he gets it first try. He gets the damage. Gets the clash. Let's see. Nice, well done.
Meanwhile, over at DNA, there is this very, very tricky wrong warp that's known as Gusty Glade WW. But I doubt whether one of the two, whether DNA or Blueberry, is gonna go for it, because it's, well, a really, really risky strategy.
Yeah, I don't think so. It saves like 5 seconds, but it's very, very precise. I think only one runner goes for it overall.
Basically, you just hold a beetle most of the stage, and you try to get close to one of the cannons and the cannonball and all. But yeah, it's like, well, really, really advanced stuff. Meanwhile, Blueberry is doing the rickety race, so it's going pretty well on his part right now. Looking good.
And DNA is on the Parachute Panic, which is a very fun stage to watch. It's not as difficult as it looks, like it's all about muscle memory, but it's also not easy. We usually would have to grab those parrots and use them as parachutes, like just glide them down very slowly. But we can just dodge all the bees with precise movements and use a D-boost there to reach the end of the stage. Very nice. Any mistake in this stage can cost you a lot of time and even like kill you in the end, but DNA did it very well.
Yeah, I never get old from seeing all those damage boosts in PCP. It's pretty cool. Weapons, on the other hand, well, just looking at it, just looking at people running weapons makes me feel a little scared for real. And I don't mean in the meme sense as in, oh man, it looks spooky. I mean scary as in, you can make one small mistake and it can cost you literally minutes of your time.
Very true. It's interesting that Blue is on Mudhole and DNA is on Webwoods, which are two of the hardest stages in the game. But yeah, Webwoods basically does not have ground. You have a lot of empty space. So you rely basically only in your web positions. If you make a web platform, or if you fail to make a web platform, you just fall and die. DNA is doing a really nice job. He's going for another damage boost here. When you take damage when falling with the spider, you can jump again, so you can use that to manipulate the camera. So very, very well done. Yeah, empty space.
Whew, that was a really smooth WW.
Nice. Also a smooth WW for Blue, as in wrong warp. So, well done, both of them. Now we have Crow come back. We didn't really speak about Crow early on, because there was no time. There was a lot going on both screens. He had a lot of RNG to it, with fake egg spawns. This boss also has RNG, depending on the spawns you get on the barrels. Thankfully DNA got very good spawns so far, I think. Right spawn is the best one there.
Yeah, and the eggs can fall really, really fast. A lot more than you'd probably be used to. Especially with the first and second climb.
Nice, really good Ward 5 for DNA.
Meanwhile, Blueberry is up to almost finishing World 4. So it's still for both a pretty good pace right now.
Yeah, they're on a pretty good pace for sure. Still like one word apart, pretty much, or afar. You could see DNA skipped a Engard barrel, and now he's coming back for some reason. And the reason is we have a very specific glitch that we do in this stage. Usually we would grab the Engard barrel and just swim through the stage, but if you bring this piranha up here and damage boost, you just end the stage. That's way harder than it looks. You have to bait the lockjaw. Yeah, very nice first try. You have to bait the lockjaw all the way and swap in the wall to be able to take a hit and zip to the end of the stage.
I wonder if Windy Well, is that actually a semi-auto scroller or is it more like just a full-on regular level? Because all the hovering with the wind does feel a little auto scrolly to me, but there's still a lot of regular scrolling segments, so I'm not really sure where to put it in.
Yeah, I agree. I call this a worse Logi. I really don't like this stage. It feels like auto scroller for sure. Someone asked why any percent. It's not only any percent, it's all stages, any percent. Because it's all 3 games. They played the KC1 already, which was all stages. And they're gonna finish the KC2 and go to the KC3. So it's a whole trilogy speedrun.
Yeah, there's technically an any percent category for DKC1, but it's a lot shorter, and all stages is in length a lot more similar to both any percent for DKC2 and any percent for DKC3, which is the reason why it's usually counted as the DKC1 category for the so-called trilogy runs.
Yep, exactly. Yes, it wouldn't be fun to just play 8 minutes of DKC1 and continue. And now finally
Castle Rush.
If you want to explain, go ahead.
This is an infamous level. I don't know how it works exactly, but there's people who have said that they had some really, really hard crashes, but oh, look at that.
And
DNA did it. That trick. What was the trick called again?
I guess just a wrong warp. I don't know if that is a specific name, but it's another case of black magic with the sword guy. You just entered Ramby's barrow after taking damage, and when the guy removes his swords from the ground, it just warps you out of the level. It's a really weird interaction, but it works, and it skips like 5 minutes of stage time, so it's really nice. Yeah, the thing that can shatter your game or break your saves and stuff, it's if you bring that invisible barrel further into the stage. If you throw that invisible barrel later, you can spawn the Ramby barrel and just... There's a lot of things that can happen. Like you can spawn cleaver, you can destroy your ram. There's a lot of things. But the way we do is pretty safe. With DNA taking a hit already on CLC.
CLC's wrong warp is pretty specific, and if you have to redo it, it's kind of annoying.
Oh, he's Dixie now, okay. So usually we want Didi to do this wrong warp, but if you take damage you can still do it as Dixie. Very nice. That's a difficult wrong warp. Also hard to explain, it's just... You use the invisible barrel to bring the cannon and just enter and continue. Now for one of the most fun levels in the trilogy, in my opinion. Toxic Tower. As you guys can see, DNA is going really fast with the snake. There's a glitch called short hop double jump, which is a series of input presses that you can make. You can make the snake double jump and just go really, really fast. Now for the parrot section, you try to dodge the enemies and snipe a few of them. I think he turned by accident there and just couldn't turn back. And now something called the moonwalk. Nice. He shoots to the right to manipulate the camera so he can go before the enemy. Okay, taking it safe here. I think Blue is having some issues with PCP. I wasn't paying much attention to his screen, but he stopped there for a second. And nice, that was really good Word 6 for DNA. Yeah, something interesting about the DKC trilogy. Many of the glitches were found by like glitch hunters on very specific YouTube channels, and speedrunners kind of talk to them, learn the glitches, and apply it to the speedrun. So that's very cool. I think the super jump was found like that, or maybe the jump roll. I don't remember. It was like a glitch hunter. But that's pretty cool. I didn't notice if DNA went for the jump because I was watching blue screen. Yeah, this is the last level of DKC2. It's a very punishing level. You gotta fly around as quacks, and you like every wall will pretty much damage you. So you have to be really careful.
Speaking of careful, Blueberry's doing web boots right now. And considering how we just mentioned how kinda dangerous speedrunning web boots is, well, this is a really cool moment to see both sections side by side. Oh man, seriously. Blueberry just got a death in web boots. Oh god.
Oh yeah, that's a nice thing to add. Oh no, another death. Come on, Blue, you got this. Oh, DNA re-entered the stage. That's another thing to add. DNA didn't get the race. The race. What's the name? Like the lights and the music, because he went above the Screecher's parrots. For some reason, if you go above him, it never triggers the race, and it saves a little bit of time. Also keeps the music going, so it's really nice. But Blue is having some trouble with the ego pit there. It's very unfortunate. Yeah, it's a bit risky to go above Screeches, but it's not too bad. And now for the second key roll. Similar to the first key roll, it's a glorified auto-scroller. It's just, you gotta hit him as fast. Oh, yeah, he took a hit though. Thankfully there was a barrel still. But you gotta hit him as fast as possible. Every runner is gonna have like their own visual or audio cues for that. And the rest is just dodging the same thing over and over. It's not very difficult. It's very difficult to do it very optimal, like we call it dustless, when you throw the ball before seeing any dust particles. But overall it's not a very difficult fight.
Yeah, K-Rool is just a little time consuming. It's, as far as I know, it's not really possible to make the fight go down faster. You just gotta have good execution, for what I remember.
Blue had some issues with, at the end of DKC1. There's a specific glitch that we used to wrong warp on the last stage, and he couldn't hit it, and then he had to die and try again a few times until he got it. So it was a bit tricky. I lost a little bit of time. Also, he started the wrong version of DKC2, so he had to. On the second stage, he soft locked. Oh no, Blue died. Just kidding. Nice. He actually showcased.
It's me every time.
The zombie Dixie glitch. Very nice. I like that.
Yo, I'm back. Sorry, I was.
Oh, welcome back. That's fine.
I had to do a quick something. So from what I see, like Blue is still like behind, right? It's like about a word behind, something like that.
Yeah, a word and a stage behind, pretty much. He's also not going for Arctic Zip, which is surprising. He's just going for the regular stage. I think Blue had mainly trouble on Word 5. He died a couple times on Webwoods, I think on PCP too. Just the regular stuff on the case too.
Just some classic death here and
there. Well, now we're going to the best game, in my opinion. DKC3.
Also mine. It's the game is a little controversial to some. Some think it's the absolute best game ever from the trilogy. Other people think it's by far the worst from the trilogy. I'll try to be objective and say this is a fine game. But basically, the run is a little similar to DKC to any percent in the sense that you're skipping over a lot of stuff, or as much stuff as possible, and you try to do a whole lot of skips and all of that, all of those shenanigans. However, the level designs are a little different in terms of enemy placement. So that's basically the big reason why DKC3 any percent is slightly different. Well, for most of the game at least, because like DKC2, for any percent you can basically just memorize where all the war barrels are and mistake them and get to the end of the stage, and well, there we go then.
Yeah, DKC1 is the most glitchy game. DKC2 is somewhat fixed, but still a lot of glitches. But on DKC3, they went really hard on fixing all the glitches. It's very difficult to break the game. And any wrong warp or stuff that we find, usually it's not useful for the speedrun because it gets you nowhere. There are still a couple glitches we use, but the run is mostly movement based. Like Working Player said, on the first couple words you just go to the warps and take them. There's no wrong warp, there's no jump roll or anything like that. The interesting thing about the DKC3 is that both Kongs have basically the same speed. So usually we're gonna be deboosting a lot. We're gonna be taking damage just to skip some sections, since we don't lose any speed by having the other Kong in the front.
Yeah. Also, what's kind of interesting to say about DKC3 speedrunning is, well, how should I put it? There are a few very, very specific skip glitches, as I would call them. Like later on, there's some zipping. There's even some boss shenanigans, even.
No.
But it's also got to be said that one of the biggest differences between DKC1 and 2 and DKC3 in terms of speedrunning is well, there's this thing we call optimal movement, which means that you try to go to the end of the stage and try to control your Kongs as optimally as possible, which means you make as little bumps as possible. You don't press Y too early or too late. You don't press B too late or too early, or anything like that.
Oh, safe. Okay.
Yeah, basically, that's the thing with all three games, but it's even more apparent in DKC3 because the difference in optimized movement can actually be over 5 or even over 10 minutes long if you don't do it well enough. Anyway, yeah, sorry for the interruption.
No, it's fine. Sorry for interrupting you. It's just DNA actually soft locked it on Boucher, but he managed to get away. It's doesn't always work. Thankfully he did.
Yeah, Bluetooth
But yeah.
is, again.
Unfortunate. But he's out of clappers. That's cool. But yeah, like Working Player said.
Level did speedrunning before speedrunning was cool.
We have a timer on the level. That's great.
Yeah, unfortunately with the warps, the timer, well, just stops timing. It's a shame, but at least we can just use RTA timing for the games. Which is not to be confused with Japanese timing, where the game, where the timer starts at the moment the game is booted up. While with RTA, it's started later with the file selection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my apologies.
No problem. The warp barrels are developer intended. They were all put there by the developers. Both in DKC1 DKC2 and 3, they are on all of the World 1 and 2 stages. But they're again now. This is the last warp barrel of the game, so now he's gonna have to play all the stages normally. And now we have Eric. Eric is one of the most annoying bosses in the game. We call it the gatekeeper, because usually whenever we don't want to reset a run, he will decide if we're going to reset or not. Very nicely done.
Yeah. The thing with Eric is, it's not exactly that difficult to figure out what you're supposed to do, and it's not really difficult to learn a few of the small optimizations to beat Eric faster. But the thing is, with runs, it can go wrong so quickly. So Eric is known for being one of those early reset points for most speedrunners.
For sure. If you miss any barrel throws, you just lose a lot of time. And for those who don't know, DKC3 is basically a JRPG. You have NPCs, you have side quests, currency, vehicle changes, you have like a boat, and then you have a helicopter later on. So it's a Final Fantasy in disguise.
Yeah, the best thing of all, you can choose what world you're gonna tackle after World 2. Because there's like 2 worlds that you can enter and choose between finishing one of the 2. For the speedruns, people usually choose Mechanos first because it's the one that's closer by. Although doing a optimal enter Mechanos is a little difficult because of the way the hoverboat moves. It's not like it moves instantaneously like the other vehicles. It moves with like a small delay, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, driving the boat is very difficult in this game. Danny unfortunately took damage when he was trying to do the B jump. And you can see now he's playing the whole level, and he's trying to roll as much as possible. Now he's gonna be using Kitty to damage boost and skip a whole section of the stage. Just jumps into the fireball. It skips like, I don't know, 5 seconds or so. Maybe a little bit more. Oh, he jumped way too early. Sorry, not way too early, but slightly too early. That's unfortunately.
Yeah. Those owls, they're also called carbines in the game for some reason. They tend to do that with them fireballs. But yeah, the thing is, I should have put it. Dixie's hitbox is slightly smaller than Kitty's, which is another reason why the damage boost at the end of this stage is usually taken. Because when you do the fast rope sections, or the fast rope section with Dixie, it's a little easier to avoid the fireballs when you're jumping because of the smaller hitbox.
Yep, pretty much. The Chaos is faster on the U version, but there is a really fast version of Chaos in the Japanese too, but it's very, very difficult. I'm sure DNA is not going to offer it. There's a trick we call 2-1 jump. Since we are on auto-scroller now, I guess I can explain. 2-1 jump is a glitch we used on DKC2 as well. If you press B to jump, and then A 1 frame later, you actually get like a team up and then a small hop, and then you need to press B again exactly 17 frames later. For some reason, if you do that, you get a much higher jump than usual, and we can use that higher jump to skip some things in some stages. And that's just enough to hit Chaos Head in the Japanese version. Wow, and I have a huge raid from Meat Flower Power. Welcome, everyone.
Exactly 365. That's one viewer a day for a whole year.
Wow, nice.
Also, maybe this might be an interesting tidbit. In general, a big difference between both Japanese versions, Japanese 1.0 and 1.1, and the American version of DKC 3, is that the loading between stages is slightly faster with the Japanese versions. It's hard to say how much faster exactly, but I'd say in a full run, I guess it could make a difference of, let's say, two or even 3 or 4 minutes.
No, I don't think it's that much faster now. It feels a lot faster. Like it's very noticeable when you're playing, but it saves not a couple, but a few seconds. I'm not exactly sure how many seconds it saves. Yeah, this is this is one of the most hated levels in the game. Unfortunately, in this game you have 2 auto-scrollers back to back, so you gotta just chill a little bit. At least the music is very good in the 3 level.
Yeah, shoutouts to the music in this game for having a lot of bass. I love it.
Oh yeah, that's very nice.
Yo guys, I have something coming. I have to leave you there. I will roll out. I will not be much of an help anyway on this game, but I had fun. I had fun accommodating with you guys. Have fun doing the rest, and I hope everybody enjoy the rest of the race and the rest of the marathon. And bye guys.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, Jackie. Take care.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Thanks for accompanying us. Your commentary, especially for DKC 1, was so good that I decided to just roll back and let you do the talking, because I feel that your contribution would have been way much to the whole game. Oh, by the way, Blueberry just finished DKC 2, it seems. Is about to boot up DKC 3. Oh god, this level.
Yeah, we're now on Blazing Bazookas.
Yeah, this is one of those levels that if you do it really well, it is amazing to play, and it's also amazing to watch. However, because of the sort of hidden midway barrel, if you don't take the midway barrel and you die at the end of the stage, that's an easy 1.5 minute time loss, in my opinion.
Yeah. Usually we have only Dixie in this stage, because whenever you enter those auto-fire barrels, the game actually waits for both of the Kongs to enter, so it takes a little bit of extra time. And that's one of the shots you can't make with both Kongs. DNA took damage there. DNA is probably keeping both for safety, but he's actually gonna deboost here on purpose.
Risky.
Yeah, he's gonna finish the stage as solo Dixie. Yeah, it's smart to wait. You can shoot on the last barrel there, you can shoot before the TNT, but it's a tight window.
Nice finish.
And meanwhile, Blue is taking the warp barrels, and he's gonna be enjoying himself over the couple first words. Now, low G, this stage is supposed to be like low gravity. Instead, everything is just super slow, and every animation and jump just takes a lot longer. And also your mistakes, so if you make any mistakes in this level, you lose a lot more time than usual.
Yeah, I feel like the developers intended the stage to be like when you're jumping or walking on the moon, but it feels more like you're watching a movie and it's playing only at but it's playing like 2 or 3 times slower. Or to put it more in terms of playing SNES games, it's like when you're used to playing NTSC, and then all of a sudden you see people playing the PAL version, or well, the PAL version that isn't optimized.
That's a good comparison, actually. Never seen someone compare that. Here's something called Vine Clip, even though there's no Vine and no clip. It's a reference to the KC2. But it's the first appearance of the busted hitbox from Squawks and like comparing to the bees. Because both Squawks, or in this case Quacks, it's the purple one, both of the parrots and the bees, they have the hitbox concentrated on the back. And the bees, they are always staring at you. So you can usually fly in between them without a problem, without taking a hit.
Wait, is Blue redoing World 1?
Did he soft lock? I didn't pay attention. I was looking at the DNA screen.
Yeah, I was too focused on watching DNAs as well. By the way, DNA is doing a pretty good GP strat for Chaos. Seems pretty precise from the movement. Not frame perfect or anything, but well, let's say you gotta be able to throw and jump really well.
Yeah, it's a very difficult strat, and then he pulled off all the 3 hits. It's a very, very cool strat found by Leftover, which is a Japanese runner. He didn't want to do the strat I mentioned that required through jumps, so he found out by himself that strat of throwing kitty, and it's pretty cute. It's just also very difficult.
Nice fast damage boost.
Really good World 3 so far, or overall. Nicely done. Now we're going to World 4 of the speedrun, which is Caught on Top Cove. It's arguably the easiest world from you have to play with auto warps, and it's pretty fun.
Yeah. This level's music is so much like ambient. It's so much like aquatic ambience without being aquatic ambience, unlike the GBA version, which has a remix of aquatic ambience instead. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of the soundtrack of the GBA version, but I think that track in particular was really well done. Then again, if it's a remix of aquatic ambience, how much can it possibly go wrong in the first place?
Very good point. Yeah, I would say that 3GBA's aquatic ambience or Waterworld, that version is better than aquatic ambience in my opinion. I like it more. It's really jammy. But yeah, the original Waterworld is really atmospheric and really it really hits sometimes. Pretty good.
So ambient, so dreamlike. I've heard some people compare it to some of the music from Super Metroid, like from Meridia. And honestly, I can see why they would come up with that comparison. It's kind of melancholical, but it's not really sad sounding. Just like you're in a whole strange world. You know, that kind of vibe.
And Blue just hit the zip. That's something we didn't talk about on the DNA screen. That's one of the tricks we use on the KC3. It's basically the replacement for wrong warps. If you team throw up close to a wall, and then an enemy goes below you, and you bounce off an enemy, you can move while while Dixie is on the air. And the game gets kind of confused because now there's a wall in between Kitty and Dixie, and the game just throws you to the next floor for some reason. So you can zip a couple floors and save a lot of time with that in a few places. Unfortunately, it's only used once on any percent.
Yeah, I was gonna say for other categories, like for Beat Krematoa, it's also used in one of the levels. I think it was the 3rd level. There's similar zips, but instead of in a tree level, you zip between rock formations. There's also in one of 3%, so a little tree zipping for the bonus level. But considering the bonus levels aren't supposed to be done and the bonus coins aren't supposed to be collected, it's left aside for any percent.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, for this stage, you really want to beat Dixie only because with Kitty it induces a little much lag.
Yeah, so DKC 3 pushes out the Super Nintendo to its limits, so some cases, like if you have too many enemies on screen and you have both Kongs and a lot of bananas on screen, the game lags a lot. So this is a particular stage because you have Nibla, which is the fish, the piranha that bites you. For some reason it lags the game too. So usually you want to only be Dixie. It's kind of risky, but the stage is not too difficult. There's this row at the end that DNA got it, very nice. It looks harder than it actually is. So, really well done. And now Blue is moving towards World 3.
Can you confirm that stage seems a little riskier than it actually is? But it's also a very fast stage. You can easily finish it in less than 1 minute if you don't get hit with Dixie.
Yeah, the second waterfall stage has some really cool tricks. There's something called a chill shot that DNA is going for here. He got it, very nice. Usually you need 3 shots from the barrel to cross that gap. You can do it in 2, but if you were too early, you hit the B. Sorry, you fall from like the waterfall all the way to the back of the start of the level. And if you're too late, you're gonna hit the B and die. So it's a risky strat, but it's very consistent too. And the rest of the stage is just dodging enemies and damage boosting. It just did 1 damage boost. It's gonna do another now. As I said before, we can skip a lot of this game by damage boosting around.
I feel that the damage boosting in this game makes it a lot of fun to breeze fast with.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, by the way, Heck Nibla.
Yeah.
Why Heck Nibla? Well, you'll see very soon. Basically, you gotta feed that fish, but you can only feed it the clownfish. Don't let it feed the urchins, because, well, for some reason, when it eats the urchins, it gets a little angry.
Also, the game considers it's an animal buddy, even though it's not really. Yeah, it's
that's supposed to be an animal buddy, it's really an impatient one.
It's a very linear stage, not very interesting, not much to it. So you guys can see, DNA is having some dead rolls, which means he's jumping too late. This game has, how can I say, a little bit heavier mechanics than the other two. So if you're playing DKC 1 then DKC 2, when you move to DKC 3, it's very easy to not move properly for a while because the mechanics are a little bit different. Yeah, you can only feed the Nibla fishes. If you can feed as many fishes as you want, but you can't feed any lurchins. We have a specific route. It's very easy to feed the fish, but sometimes it just goes away, disappears on screen, comes back angry and bites you. He can lose you a lot of time if he decides to troll.
Speaking of trolls, what the heck is this?
Yeah, this boss is questionable. It's also very easy on the speedrun. We just stand on a specific spot, fire 2 shots on the ground, 2 shots on the air, and that's it. We do it 3 times. Not a very complicated boss fight. The difficulty is all around like slipping on the edges of the platforms, because the waterfall platforms are very slippery. But since we're used to it, we know how to handle that. nicely done by DNA. What you don't want to see is when you grab the ski, you fall all the way down the screen, because you lose a lot of time by doing that. But DNA knows how to grab it optimally.
Yay, now we can get the best boat in the game. It's just a speedboat, but seriously, it's the best boat you can get. Goes real fast.
I have a theory that that boss is a demon wall from Final Fantasy, so that's another reference, another proof like that this game is a Final Fantasy on like a hidden Final Fantasy. And now we have Word 5, which is arguably the best word in this game. I think it's my favorite.
Yeah, it's a world where you first hear the rock face rumble. This song is so nice to listen to. I mean, man, those drums, the flute, the guitar later on, man, just sounds so freaking nice, man.
Also, this stage is really nice to play through. If you're Dixie, you can jump the ropes really, really fast, as you can see DNA doing. It's difficult because you gotta press. If you press too early, you're not gonna move at all, and if you press too late, you're gonna be slow. So you gotta work out the rhythm. It's really nice.
Yeah, especially at one of those sections where you're supposed to climb low with the ropes. When you do the downward jumps, just a little too late, it can be really, really aggravating. It's possible to take a damage boost there and go real fast, but it's also really risky. Also, another interesting thing to note is that, unlike the earlier games, down jumping is very important to handle well in this game. If you don't do it well enough, or if you can't do it perfectly all the time, well, you're not gonna like many of the sections in this game.
Yeah, the third auto-scroller in this game is another cart level. This one is not as difficult as the first one, I think, but it can also throw you a little bit. It's a little bit janky.
Yeah, you can just go to get all the hidden bear coins. I mean, not banana coins. That's DKC 2. You don't really need to get those bear coins for this category or most speedrun categories. It's only required if you want to get the big coins for 1 or 3%. But I tend to do that because, well, why not? It's an auto-scroller anyway, so might as well just do it.
Now for barrel drop bounce.
Oh boy, this level.
Yeah, this level is... The idea of the level is good, but the execution not so much. The level is really laggy. The barrels don't have a very clear hitbox. Since we were speedrunners and played this game a lot, we were used to it. DNA is doing a really good job by climbing them. And here you have a very nice trick that fortunately skips like half of the level. You can use the barrel spawning here. Team throw again. Oh, unfortunately he failed it. Okay, it's fine. He can try again. No big deal. You can abuse the height that these barrels come from. Team throw into another one, and then team throw into the end of the stage. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to mess up that strat, and it can be really frustrating, but it does save quite some time for the end of the stage.
Yeah, blue
which brings us to one of the arguably most creative levels in the whole game.
Yeah, blue got
I forgot the proper name.
It's Crackshot Croc.
Crackshot Croc, right.
Discount Webwoods, also called.
Yeah.
It's.
I tend to call it the Purple Milkshake Factory because of Mr. Zeratamans.
Oh yeah, the Purple Strawberry Milkshake Factory, that's true.
It's just such a nice name.
It's similar to Webwoods, where we only play the spider, but you have ground this time, so that's cool.
Yeah, although, even though there's more ground, so there's a little less, not less, but there's a little more room for error, but you really want to try to do the web, place the webs as optimally as possible, which might be a good point to point out that Twitter's fast webs are a frame slower than in DKC2. So if you want to try to make instant platforms, it might take a little getting used to if you're used to DKC3's to do's, or vice versa.
Yeah, that's very true. In my experience, it's easier to transition from DKC3 to 2 because you just press the buttons at the same time, and going from 2 to 3 is a little bit harder. Now on Lemguin Lunge, this stage is infamous for the hitboxes. The Lemguins have some weird hitboxes and they can kill you for whatever reason, like if you're not on a good cycle. They are not on a global cycle, but they spawn on your game much earlier than you think. So it's important that you have a very consistent movement in this stage. It feels like a DKC1 stage. It's very linear, very fast-paced. Pretty cool. Oh, okay. Unfortunately, DNA, as I said, he slowed down a little bit, and that caused the Lemguin to kill him, where he usually wouldn't die. Very unfortunate.
Yeah. Also, another thing to point out is that the Lemguins tend to, well, how should I say, dive and flow faster if you go along later on in the level. So it might be important to take that into account if you try to run it.
Now for the most infamous trick of the run of the trilogy, actually.
Bleak.
The Bleak skip. So I'm gonna let DNA try it once, and then I'll explain what's going on. Okay. So what he's trying to do is, in the last frame of the fight, before the screen starts fading to black, if you press start, the game glitches out and beats the boss for you. You have 1 frame to do that. That means 1 in 60 seconds. 1 divided by 60 seconds. So it's a very, very tight window. If you press too late, you will not hear the start. And he got it. Nice. That's great. If you press too early, the game is just gonna stop. And if you press right at the exact frame, it's gonna beat the boss for you. It saves over a minute if you get it first try, but it's the main reason why the Japanese version is faster.
Speaking of fun hitboxes, this level's hitboxes are a lot less tight than you would think from seeing it, which in a way is a design flaw. But on the other hand, for speedruns, it makes it a lot more fun to try to breeze through it.
Very true. What we saw in Low G was just like a sneak peek for this stage. Basically, almost every wall that has a bee covering it, we can just not kill the bee and go through them very easily like that. It's just a what's the word? Exploiting the hitboxes.
I'd say it's fair enough for this game because it tends to exploit the hitboxes to its favor in levels like Lemguin Lunge. So I'd say, why not return a favor and do it again in the next level?
You know, that's actually a good point. Finally the game is working for us once.
Gotta know your advantages and disadvantages, right?
DNA decided to not take the last damage boost, so he's safe at the end. And now we have another cute skip here. When we select the option that when we want to cross, we can press left to exit the bear hut. But since we already told the game we want to cross, the game just lets we move forward instead of leaving to the left. It's pretty cool. Saves like 0.3 or something. It's not a huge time save. Yeah, in this game, Quax is really cool. The DKC2 Quax was just like a parachute, but in this game, he's the same as Quax, but he can shoot eggs. He can grab barrels instead, which is a very cool design option.
Yeah, they certainly try to use the animal bodies as much as possible. That's something that was also happening in DKC2, but it's even more apparent in DKC3. Especially with many of the animal, barrels that are out there. You can tell that many stages are designed with playing some of these animal buddies in mind instead of the regular Kongs. Except for this level.
Yeah. This
also known as...
Sorry, go ahead.
Yes. Also known as the Burn Your Rope update by Void TM. So what is the Burn Your Rope update? Well, basically it comes down to sort of small auto-scroller because there's not all that much you can do to speed up the progress. So a lot of runners just stand to just explain or just tell how they feel that the run has gone at that point while things are going. So I can't hear Blueberry and DNA right now, so I'm just gonna ask you, Domace, how do you feel that the race is going so far?
That's funny you ask because Blue just died, which is unfortunate. But I think Blue is having some issues with his DKC3 progress right now, but he's doing a good job. Like he's cruising through the stages, most of them. I think DNA is just playing flawlessly. He's doing like an amazing job. He's got like all the wrong warps in the late game of DKC2. He's just getting all the stages correctly here. So it's really hard to keep up with him. Because playing all 3 games in a row it's a brutal category for sure.
Yeah, it also takes you to so many different mindsets with the 3 games because although gameplay-wise they're very similar, when you do play them yourself, especially back-to-back, you can feel that every game has its own, let's say, focal points. Or more like areas where it focuses on more and some where they focus on less. I think that's a good thing. It makes replaying all the games a lot of fun. But yeah, like you said, when you do a speedrun of it and you gotta be focused all the time for a few hours, yeah, that's definitely mentally exhausting.
For sure. But yeah, people are talking in chat about animal buddies. My favorite animal buddy is Squeeter. I really like to play as Squeeter. And now we're both on water stages, or they are both in water stages. Blue unfortunately died on the corner there. That's a tricky turn. If you bonk anywhere, you can just die to the fish. DNA is finishing the floodlit fish, which is a not very dark stage, but the gimmick is that you stab some fishes to bring light. But it's not really necessary. We can see just fine without it. Now for Porthole Panic, this is one of my favorite stages. He's going for the bird skip, very nice. With a very precise roll into hover there, you can skip the parrots. It saves like a couple of seconds, not too much. This is a discount animal antics. You have all the animal buddies, except for Perry actually. It's a very small stage though in comparison to Animal Antics. DKC3 doesn't have a lot of transitions, like door that transitions to other parts of the level. You usually only have one one whole screen.
Yeah. The thing with puddle panic is, yeah, you can use the animal bodies, but sometimes it's just faster to just use the gongs instead.
Yeah, unfortunately,
which brings us to the stage that does have parry. Well, unfortunately, we won't see parry for this run. Also, pretty nice attempt from the 2-1 jumps. I believe 2-1 jumps were explained a little earlier, but basically you try to do a higher and faster beam up and jump and upwards throw.
Yeah, DNA got it third try, which is very fast. Oh, now he got first try. I was gonna say he died, unfortunately, and have to do it again.
That's some insane time, man.
Yeah, getting it first try is very difficult. The way we do it, basically, or most people does it, is you slide your thumb from A to B, or from B to A, and repress B later. But it's double frame perfect, so it's a very difficult trick. Getting it first try is insane. Pretty sick. It's basically a rhythm press. Now Blue is going for Word 5 and DNA is going for Word 6 boss, which is Barbos. This is a tricky boss fight, but let's see how DNA goes. Oh, he got a bad RNG pattern. This fight is really technical.
Just do what it wants.
He can position himself to exploit the bad hitboxes and just go inside Barbos and just let the purple missiles do its thing. It's much easier and faster than waiting for the whole missile animation. And very nice boss fight. Very cool.
Nice showcase from, oh god, the swordfish. Oh, by the way, speaking of animal buddies, I wasn't able to say which one of the animal buddies is my favorite. Well, On God is pretty cool in this game with his pretty defensive hitboxes. And, well, Perry looks nice, Critter is fun to use. But my personal favorite animal buddy is Ellie. Why Ellie? I can't really explain why. I just think she looks cute.
Oh, that's a good choice. I like Ellie. Also, we have a really nice jam on the DNA side now. We're on the first word, or the first level of the 7th word. And it's the first jungle level. We have conveyors, which are these ropes that either carry you forward or pushes you backwards. You can go really fast if you take them, so it's usually faster than rolling. It's also a very difficult stage because there are a lot of bees around. It's very easy to hit one of them and lose a lot of time.
Yeah, like with a few other Dixie only levels, it is a little risky if you do it with Dixie only, but if you manage to do it damages, it is such a breeze.
And now Creepy Caverns. Sorry, I had to just remove my cat from my computer. He was like messing up my cables.
Your cat seems to love you.
Yeah, he does. He also loves to screw my things. Creepy Caverns is a very cool stage in my opinion. It has really cool platforming, but it also has a lot of RNG. The ghost barrels, they have a cycle, and whenever you spawn them, the cycle that they appear on is random. So they can face the correct direction right away, or you can just take a while to face the direction you want. You can lose up to 10 seconds from like the best and worst case scenario. So.
Yeah. Hence why a lot of speedrunners tend to call this level orangey caverns.
Yeah. Very true. Now DNA is doing a pause buffer because the last barrel is very fast. So you gotta be quick. So you can pause buffer just to have an extra like half a second of reaction time. It helps a lot.
Then there's the next level, Lightning Lookout. Technically, the lightning itself isn't RNG. It depends on both the timing of the level itself and also on the place where your cogs are. But because it does seem to shift a little to the left or to the right often, sometimes to me it feels a little like RNG, although it technically isn't.
Yeah, one interesting fact is that both of the stages that are on screen right now, they have the same mechanic. They both have that aim that's gonna shoot at you. Lightning Lookout also has an aim that makes the lightning spawns, but instead of being at yourself, like at your Kong, it predicts your movements based on what you're doing, and then spawns the lightning there. So it's a very similar mechanic. It's just obviously on Lightning Lookout the aim is hidden, but it's very cool. And DNA did a really good job by going past the stage.
We're almost at the end of the game, and I feel that these last two levels are, in my opinion, the most gimmicky feeling because of the way the levels are designed. Because you see, with this level, you got all these coins that try to shove you away, and while movement-wise, it's a little easier to do some more hovering and jump around because of the way Dixie moves. Although with Kitty, it is a little trickier to do it fast and also, well, not too risky.
Yeah, really nice ending by DNA there. They are very gimmicky and also very punishing. Most of the levels in the 7th world, if you do if you make any mistakes, you just die usually. So it's a very brutal end of the run.
Yep. As for the other gimmicky level, well, basically left and right are both reversed, but not up and down. So it may seem like every other level with the way DNA is moving, but trust me, the first time you're playing this, it takes quite a while to get used to that control.
Yeah, once you're used to it, it's a very linear and simple level. Still can kill you if you're not careful, but overall it's a pretty okay stage. And Blue now is going for Blitzkeep. Let's see, he didn't get it first try. I believe that was his first try. Let's see how many tries it takes. I don't think he can catch up to DNA anymore, unfortunately. Oh, that one was too late. But he can save some time by getting Blitzkeep early. Also, DNA managed to squeeze there with Dixie, which is slightly faster than taking damage. Nice, third try for Blue. That's pretty good. And DNA is on the last boss now. Approaching with a 203, which is gonna be like almost a 206. It's a really fast time.
Yeah.
I don't want to jinx him, but this is the only key rule that is actually difficult in terms of skill and like mechanics. Not that the other two are super easy, but this one is actually hard.
Yeah, and the reason why it's really hard is that, unlike the other two K rules, where you don't really have that much air, that much room or air to make it go a little faster. Well, with this K rule, you can actually damage K rule a little faster with some very specific throws and specific pickups, like DNA showcasing here. But it isn't really easy to do it optimally. And again, one small mistake and it can cost you quite a lot of time, especially at this stage in the game.
Very true.
So, yeah, I'm holding my thumbs up for him.
Yeah, there's a couple hits that are almost task only that we do. One of them, most runners don't go for. I think Blue is gonna go for it. We'll see. The second one is this that DNA is doing now. It's called Task Hero, or Task Hero. He's gonna be jumping on a very specific spot to go before the boss, but late enough so the barrel still falls on the platform. So if he's too early, the barrel will fall on the lightning. If he's too late, he's gonna hit the boss and take damage. So it's a 6-frame window, if I'm not mistaken. So really, really well done. Now for the final 3 hits. So time is coming up on DNA's screen. Second hit. As soon as it grabs the coin after the third one, it's gonna be time. And time. 2:05:27. Really, really nice. GG DNA. Really well done. That was an insane run. Unfortunately, I think Blue's stream's not working anymore, so I think he forfeited. So yeah, really well done. That was fun. That was really fun to watch.
Well, it was definitely quite a race to watch. That's for sure. Was pretty exciting too. It's a little unfortunate for the soft locks that Blue had, because honestly, I actually believe that he had a really, really good chance to win this.
Yeah, both runners are same caliber for sure.
I guess technology just doesn't want to be fun at some point.
True. Apparently, DNA got a PB, so marathon PB. That's awesome.
GG DNA.
GG DNA for sure.
Well, this was a trilogy, and we hope you guys like watching this. And Gomez, it was a honor doing commentary with you. Also, Jackie left the stream, but you were a really good commentator as well, man. It's pretty
Hello,
good.
Blue. Welcome.
You guys, it will be good. Hi, Blue.
Thank you for doing commentary.
Hey, no problem, dude. Thanks for playing. I hope you had a fun time. I know the games weren't very kind for you.
Oh,
so.
Man, I crashed the game 3 different times. I loaded the wrong game twice. 8 fakes. Oh yeah,
you got 8 fakes?
It was a time.
Welcome, DNA. Hello.
Yeah, what's up?
So congrats on your PB, DNA. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Dude,
Yeah,
I crashed the game 3 different times. I loaded the wrong version of DKC2, so I had to reload that. DKC3 after 1.3, my game crashed, which is awesome. Never had that happen before.
Oof.
8 fakes.
It was really funny because I was talking about, on DKC 2 1.0 you can't wrong warp because you get stuck in the barrel, and then a couple of minutes later you got stuck in the barrel. So it was like a perfect showcase.
Yeah, it was a time for sure. Mine not even practice went that bad. It was I have no words for it. It happens. What speedruns are for happens.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely happens.
It just happens with these games.
Yeah.
My gear with this were also awful. Now I got a PB. And I didn't get anything.
Congrats. That's awesome.
Yeah, GG. You had a really sick and clean run overall. Like, I don't think you missed anything major.
No, I don't think so. Got carried by DKC 1 and 2.
Nice.
I hit all the frames.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. Do you guys want to say anything? Any final words?
Thanks for having us, and I hope
thanks for
everyone
having us.
enjoys the marathon.
Hopefully be back next year.
Yep.
Sure. I'll be back commentating then. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for having us, and keep enjoying the marathon. Oh my god.
Have a great night.
We're gonna have a clip for that.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure to stay tuned for the next run, because next run's gonna be Caught of the Hearts with Tetris Attack. I heard it's pretty special. It's gonna be a pretty special speed run, so make sure to check on the schedule. Take care, everyone.